Yo, welcome back to the 5 to Life Dynasty Football League. Shout out to the commish, Master E, aka Third and 10. Playoff week 15. Last week's winners, week 14 of the first round of the playoffs. Shout out to Third and 10 for beating Zeke out. Shout out to A Team Has No Name for beating the formal champ, the formerly known as champ, El Come Tortas, managed by Sergio. Uh, Now this week 15, let me get into the consolation bracket just real quick, just to talk about it, because I know there's a couple people. As for those of you who know, like next year's implications are not, they're already set in stone. So whoever came into what the fuck, whoever came into last place before the playoffs, they they are in last place right now. So this is just for bragging rights. So Mean Machine, what the hell is going on? Mean Machine managed by Michael. He started Derek Carr and got him 2 points. I know he had the growing injury. He got hurt. I believe it was like in the first quarter. I'm not too sure. I wasn't really watching that game too much. But yeah, so Robert Woods versus the Jets should be a cool play. I mean, unless they just run up the score with, of course, Cam Akers or Darrell Henderson, which they could most likely do. But so this makes Robert Woods very touchdown dependent. But if the Jets, they come off strong and they play over the top, over the head, like teams do this late in the season for some reason. I don't know why. If they do stop the run, Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp are definitely going to be the only two targets that basically Jared Goff is going to go to, unless he throws it to Everett or forget the other tight end's name. But so Woods should get him. Should get him a pretty good game. Shouldn't be too worried about it too much. Adam Thielen should have another solid game, only because Chicago's run defense is what holds them in the game. That defense is good, and I believe right now, like, it's going to be too hard for the Chicago defense to be trying to plan for Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Ito Smith, and now Adam Thielen. So it's going to be it's going to be like they're going to pick their shots with whoever they're going to pick. But I think Adam Thielen is still badass enough to get the job done and get in the end zone once or twice. Pittman should be a good play right here because Houston's defense isn't scary. Although they're going to be running the ball, I know that Jonathan Taylor has been showing out, and they have the Naeem Hines special in that screenplay action, but they also have Michael Pittman coming through on those handoffs, those reverse, and he's been involved in the passing game too. So last 3 games haven't been too great, especially it's because even week 13 against Houston wasn't that great. But the game plan, I think, will be a little bit different, assuming that Deshaun Watson is able to score on that defense, which will be hard. But Michael Pittman should be a solid play. Should get him about 9-10 points. Even if he doesn't, if he gets in the end zone, she'll get him like 12. If he doesn't, he'll get him like 8, 9, 7. James Conner, I don't know if he wants to pivot from James Conner against Cincy. He's been having troubles. I know he should probably just pivot, honestly, to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Just go with it. Like, honestly, you got nothing to lose right now. You're just going for bragging rights. I would pivot, or even to Zach Moss in a minute, because they play right now. But so going forward now, his tight end, Robert Tonyan, to me, I think it can continue to be a keeper now. He has moved into that realm where, God damn, excuse me. He has moved into that realm where he's becoming a must-start tight end in a world of tight ends where it's very scarce. And if you don't have the top tight end, I think Robert Tonyan is his name. He's a great play every week, no matter what defense. So he stepped into the realm of keeper. I don't know if it's like that for Mean Machine. Antonio Brown, he's finally going to start him. Like I said, every week, this could be that week, So, he could pivot. I know he has Michael Thomas out for the regular season, which as a Saints fan, I do like that because, it gets you prepared for the playoffs, because the playoffs is going to be tough this season straight up. But if you're a fantasy manager, I know Michael, Mean Machine shouldn't be worried about it too much right now because he's not currently in the playoffs. But uh, you know, maybe he'd want to like pivot from somebody else. Maybe throw and Antonio Brown, maybe throw him out. Put somebody else at that running back slot. Throw in Eric Ebron. You know, could be a way better play. I also like Jared Cook this week too because Drew Brees is back. The swing one is back. The legend. But still, I think they're still going to do that 1-2 punch between Taysom Hill. So uh, Drew Brees owners shouldn't be too excited. Russell Wilson versus Washington should be a smash play as usual, no matter what. Rainy, snowy, sleet, hail, dome, outside, whatever. Russell Wilson's going to pass. And he has that DK Metcalf connection. I think Metcalf should have a good game too, because that run defense, obviously, you saw that defense is pretty good. It's a good defense, but I still think that the Seattle offense is much better. So, but it's still a smash play. Still very much a smash play. Jamison Crowder, I don't think he has another pivot. But Crowder, you know, you always want to play him if he's out. I know this year he has been very, very, how do you say it? Very Jets-like. He's been on the Jets, but he's been the only bright spot of the Jets that has really came out for when he does play and he's not injured. He's the only bright spot in Crowder. I don't think he has any other options, any other pivots. He played Henry Ruggs even when he had COVID. So safe to say that he's not paying attention to the updates. So, you know, there's that. Juju should have a nice game. I think Juju is going to have probably the best game of the season this week since the first week, which we had like 21 points right there. Yep. I think he's going to have the best game of the season since then. So it should be a smash play. If anybody has Juju, I would play him definitely Monday night in the playoffs in the clutch, and he will be clutch. I that's what I'm predicting. Chase Edmonds, like I said, man, he's not paying attention to his, you know, to his updates. I would start Le'Veon Bell over Chase Edmonds this game, only because Philadelphia's run defense is pretty good, and I think that the Chiefs are going to throw everything at the Saints, you know, just to keep the Saints offense off the field. I think they're just going to try to throw everything, get everybody a chance to get good looks. So I like Le'Veon Bell that game over Chase Edmonds against Philadelphia. Jamal Williams, like I say, he doesn't really have too many pivots, but I like Jamal Adams this game. Could be, you know, a wide running back 3. If he's touchdown dependent, and let's say the Packers get on top early, which I'm pretty sure they will, this should be a good game for Williams later on today. Mark Andrews, obviously you're playing him. That's the number 1 target for Lamar Jackson, and Jacksonville is not scary. So, excuse me, guys, I'm not feeling too good either. So, and he picked up Devontae Parker, who I dropped. I had to drop him to pick up other people, you know, playoff time, and he moved out of the realm of keeper to me. So if I had to choose, this is going to be it might be a closer game than what it seems like it could be, but just depending on the matchups and if Russell Wilson shows up, but if Mean Machine changes that James Conner situation, I will have to go Mean Machine in this matchup. Jobless next season, buddy. Next season. All right, next consolation round. 2 managers who were in the playoffs got kicked out round 1. You know, they had better seasons, you know, sorry, bad luck. And, you know, things that didn't go their way. So the former champ picked up Jalen Hurts. He's going to play him against Arizona. If we know anything, you know, rookies have things to prove. They want to prove how good they are in the NFL. They want to, you know, it's a rookie, you know, and the way, obviously, Jalen Hurts played last week against the Saints, you're going to start him. To me, I think, you know, the Philadelphia Eagles played way over the top. The momentum was on their side, and I even said it in the last video that this could possibly happen. So, but still, Jalen Hurts is going to be the starter of that offense. He has weapons, and I believe he has Drew Brees. Yes, he does, and Drew Brees is probably going to play. But like I said, the Saints are probably still going to do that 1-2 punch between Taysom Hill, Drew Brees. You may even see some Jameis Winston in this game. So it's a great play, good pickup. I know he was calling me on the day before the playoffs and like, you know, what should we do? What should I do? And I said, well, whatever you do, you should pick up Jalen Hurts for the dynasty because he's going to be a good quarterback. So good pickup. Mike Evans should be very touchdown dependent this game, that assuming that Atlanta stops the run, which I know the run defense is pretty good, and Tampa Bay Bucks, they had a Rojo out with COVID, and then last week they had a Leonard Fournette healthy scratch, and then you got a rookie in Keyshawn Vaughn that could show out. But this Atlanta's run defense is pretty good, so they're going to be very pass happy. But I still think they're going to be focusing on that pass rather than the run itself, just because of the Fournette healthy scratch last week, and then the Rojo being out, not only with the COVID, but he has a broken finger, I believe. So Mike Evans should be touchdown dependent. If he gets a touchdown, smash game. If he doesn't, he may give you a dud. He may give you a dud, but I doubt it. So about 10 points if he doesn't, 15 plus if he does. CD Lamb, I might want to pivot CD Lamb only because of the whole situation right there in Dallas, and plus you're going up against San Francisco, who has not the defense of last season, but they're still a pretty good defense. They're a top defense, and they could withstand their own, especially to the likes of Andy Dalton and those Cowboys. I would probably pivot to like a MVS, Valdez Scantling, just off of the fucking big play ability, because one long bomb from Aaron Rodgers and you're in. You're in, and you could win that game. So I would pivot right there, but CeeDee Lamb is big play ability as well, so you can go either way. I think CeeDee Lamb has the safer floor, but I think MVS has the higher ceiling. Sterling Shepard, I think Sterling Shepard, because Colt McCoy is going to play, I heard. It doesn't really matter because Daniel Jones hasn't been that great this season either. So I would play Sterling Shepard. He's their offense right now. He's what's clicking for them. Sunday night primetime game. If he scores, he will have a good game. If he doesn't, he will have a safe floor. So Shepard should be in for him. Carson should be in for him. Gallman should be in for him, assuming that Freeman doesn't take away some of his attempts like he did last week. So I mean, it's gonna be hit or miss. And like last week, look, he was snipped by Dion Lewis. So and Freeman's coming in already. So it was good while it lasted. I think, I don't know if he has any other pivots that he wants to pivot to. Maybe he wants to pick up somebody else. McCaffrey's out. He didn't play Renfro. He didn't play Booker. So I would have put Jacobs in that spot and not in your flex. This is why you don't play your flex on a Thursday night or early Saturday or early Sunday or Saturday game. You keep your flex open just in case something like this happens. So had he put Jacobs in his running back position, he could have had time to pivot to a receiver, to a tight end, to another running back. But now he doesn't have that. He can only pivot to a running back. So Logan Thomas, I know I said last week I like him. He gave you 7 points, but that's the floor right now. It's the floor for all tight ends, basically. 7, 8 points. That's the floor. 2 games before that, he got you 11 and 20. Seattle defense is a pass-happy defense. So it should be a good play. Logan Thomas, I like that play a lot. If he scores, great. If he doesn't, he has a safe floor. Herbert, great fucking game by Herbert with the touchdown save at the end. Great fucking game. Tyreek Hill, you're playing him no matter what. Godwin should have a breakout game since, he hasn't had a breakout game. He's only had one breakout game. So he should have a breakout game this week against Atlanta, assuming that they focus on the pass and they cover up Mike Evans. Godwin should just be there. I feel like Tom Brady is going to be targeting him a lot. He's that, he's going to be getting those second and 5 passes, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 passes. Assuming that the run gets them those yardage at the first down mark. So Godwin should be good. Hollywood Brown is out with COVID. They said he probably might play. Right now, I wouldn't put him out there. I would just keep him out just because. I would play T. Higgins. I would have played Hunter Henry in my tight end position over Gronk, only because of the situation. I can see you guys are saying that right now, like, oh, he gave you 15. Well, if you're asking me now, it's because Mike Williams was questionable. Keenan Allen was questionable. Austin Eckler was questionable. I would have pivoted right away. I'll tell you my troubles later. I can't play Slayton. Ahmed, I believe, is going to play, but that backfield is so fucking sketchy right now. What is going on with my screen? Oh, well, the internet is fucked right now. But yeah, Ahmed, if he plays, I don't want no part of that backfield. And if he doesn't play, then maybe you might want to pivot. But you are going up against New England, who's given up the 14th fewest fantasy points to running backs. So it's like a middle of the pack. It's going to be hit or miss. So now he has to pivot up somebody else to take away that Marquise Brown spot. If Marquise Brown plays, I mean, you could start him. Like you could start him up against Jacksonville, so that's not a problem. Uh, Robinson, of course, you know he's the probably he could be the rookie of the year if it wasn't for Herbert. He's definitely for me the waiver fantasy MVP. Just because look all these numbers so consistent, tens the floor against Baltimore should be okay. He's the only smash play in that offense. He's the only thing that's going on. You're playing him. Zeke is the one I'm worried about a little bit. I have a feeling they're going to sit Zeke for the rest of the season. I have a feeling he's going to have a short game this week. It's not going to be good, and you know Zeke has seen better days, but still the keeper that he is because if next year if Dak Prescott comes back, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Gronkowski, very touchdown dependent. I don't believe he will get those third down like as much as Godwin. I don't believe he's going to get those third down receptions. Duke Johnson, he has Duke Johnson in. I don't know why. I think he just gave up already. It happens when when you lose in playoffs. It just happens. You know, you get no type of. You don't want to start. You don't want to continue playing. You know, so I would. You know, I would just. You know, just depending on. You know, just pride. I would. Last year I didn't, so I'm going. You know, I went up against my own shit, my own rule. But yeah. So let's go on to the next consolation, which is the one in the chat that has people that had people talking mad shit. This is the one I'm curious to see who wins. Double C Cup, Sour DJ, Salvador Delgado versus P Top Kevin Bodden, managed by James. Aaron Rodgers should be a fucking smash play. AJ Brown. This is what I'm worried about. AJ Brown. I'm worried that if it's just a run happy game, very run happy game. Like last week was a very run happy game. It's crazy because they were down to Cleveland and it should have been a pass game and he only got you 9 points. Whereas last week it was a run game and he got 20 points. So it's like an up and down thing. But you know, if they go up against Detroit, I think Detroit, Derek Yeti, King Henry, fucking MVP, whatever you want to call him. He's going to run all over Detroit. It just looks like it. So it might be a slow game for A.J. Brown, but a safe floor, obviously, since you've seen this last week. He's probably not going to get you a 2 like he has, but, you know, he'll get you a safe 9, 8 if he doesn't score. If he does score, then it's going to be, you know, obviously much more. Cooper Kupp should have a good game too. Like I said, in the same situation as Robert Woods. If they stop that run, you know, they're going to go on those third down play actions, second down play actions, red zone passes. Cooper Kupp is the first target for Jared Goff. He's probably like I don't know, 70-30 to Robert Woods. And so Cooper Kupp is a safe play. Curtis Samuel, I know he likes Curtis Samuel a lot, especially when McCaffrey is out. He's used a lot in the run game. So I think it could be a safe player. Now he has no pivot. Let's see why pivot. Yeah, I'd like Curtis Samuel over Chark, over Hardman, over Gage. I like Curtis Samuel over them because Carolina, Green Bay's run defense isn't good at all. So Aaron Jones, smash player playing him. David Montgomery is what a great pickup. Next year, Double C Cup is going to have a great team. So he's in the realm of keepers. Aaron Rodgers keeper, AJ Brown keeper, Cooper Kupp keeper, Aaron Jones keeper, Montgomery keeper, Waller keeper, Swift keeper. He has a great squad now. So Jerry Jeudy keeper. He has a great squad. So it's interesting to see. You know, he's in the realm of the big dogs now. So Darren Waller, bro. Darren Waller, what a gem. What a gem to get him in these. If had he been in the playoffs, what a gem, bro. 25 points on a Thursday night against the rivals. It's just, he's the number one right there. So DeAndre Swift should be a good play as well because Tennessee's defense isn't as scary as they were last year. Obviously, they were before the injury. He was heating up, coming back. They brought him back, and last week he had an okay game up against a weak run defense, but they were capping his success. So I think now this should be the game, the breakout game, unless they love. I know they love Adrian Peterson there still, so it is what it is. Patrick Mahomes, you're playing him. Obviously, DeAndre Hopkins, you're playing him. Even against Philadelphia, Slay will be on him, but I think this is one of those games where Philadelphia, they're riding high over a big win, and then Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins puts them in their place. Yeah, so hold up. Excuse me, my bad, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Hopkins should be a smash play. Calvin Ridley should be an all right play because Julio's out. But that's the thing that a lot of people say. If Julio's in, you could play everybody in Atlanta. If Julio's out, it's going to be a little sketchy. But Ridley, even without Julio, he's been all right. He has a ceiling where it could be high as fuck, and he has a floor that's pretty safe. It's pretty safe floor, 11. The lowest he had, was like 5 and then 0 that one game. But uh, up against Tampa Bay's defense, I believe that it'll be all right. It'll be all right to play, and Ridley looks nice. Uh, Amari Cooper, he's very going to be touchdown dependent. He's targeted a lot right now because I think they're just going with what works, and they're going with the stars that get them there, that get them that first down, that get them in the red zone, to the red zone, in the end zone, in the red zone, or whatever. But Cooper Kupp should be a safe play. His floor right now is very, very safe in the last few weeks. That damn dog. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. But Amari Cooper should be a safe play, and he's Andy Dalton's favorite target. Besides Tony Pollard, who I'm going to get into in a little bit. Nick Chubb is going to run all over the Giants. You already know that. Along with Kareem Hunt. Like I said, this is the only anomaly where you can play both running backs on the same team because they could both be a RB1 and RB2. So shout out to P-Top Kevin Bottom for that play. That's dope. Austin Eckler, he was questionable going in with his hamstring, I believe, but they just they limited him, just as they did Keenan Allen, just as they did Mike Williams. Like I said, they limited him. In the playoffs, it would have hurt a lot. Luckily, it's not in the playoffs, but I know that P-Top Kevin Bottom. Well, not that I know. I'm not going to speak for the man, but I believe he wants this win over Double C Cup, and I know Double C Cup wants this win over P-Top Kevin Bottom. So, because he told me. Higbee should be a nice play, touchdown dependent, but he should be all right, depending on that run. And even with the run, even if they do stop the run, which I don't think they will, it's going to set up the play action. So all three receivers four receivers, actually, if you count Reynolds, should be a pretty safe play this game against the Gents for the Rams. Like I said, Hunt is in. No pivots. I don't think we should pivot to. Like I said, David Johnson. There's no pivots really on either side that are good. Both these teams, they're putting up their best starters up against each other. So it should be a good game. This could very well be the matchup of the week. Yes, I'm still doing matchups of the week because because this is not the playoffs right now. This is consolation. Bets are going on, and if I had to choose this game, who do I like? Assuming on how it's been so far, the X factors could be Curtis Samuel and Calvin Ridley. Assuming it's going to how I think it's going to go based on all the matchups, I'm going to have to go with Double C Cup on this one. Just because all of his plays right now, all of his players are solid players, and not only are they solid players, they're used and they're targeted, and they're getting formations and plays for them in their respective teams. Matchups are all great on this side. These matchups are great on this side, but you got the San Francisco, maybe the Tampa Bay, maybe the Philadelphia, those type of things. And then let's assuming Higbee doesn't score because Waller already got 25. I'm just gonna have to give the slight edge to Double C Cup on what a turnaround season he's had. Next season should be a good season for him. P Top Kevin Bottom too as well. Don't count out the veteran. All right, now we're going into the playoffs. Week 15, the semi-championship. First matchup we have right here is Comeback Chris versus a team has no name, managed by Ray Ray. Sorry about the dog. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. So Comeback Chris's side, he was pivoting, he was trying to pivot between Deshaun Watson and Ryan Tannehill. Me personally, this is the playoff win. If I know who I'm going up against Derrick Henry. I would go Deshaun Watson. Like, to be honest, like, he got you there. Let's do it. Fuck it. Why not? That's what I would go. That's who he probably is going to go. Although I don't really believe, because Indiana might be scaring him. But that Tannehill versus Detroit looks good. If Detroit can somehow stop Derrick Henry or even slow him down a little bit, Tannehill should have a good game. He should have a better floor than Deshaun Watson, because Deshaun Watson's floor of this game is definitely teetering on that 14, 15 point range. But like I said, you could go either way right now, and it's going to bite you in the ass if you don't. And then, if you do, it's going to fuck you over later. Like, whatever. This is the playoffs. You're going with your best players. You're going with your gut. I would go Deshaun Watson. Robbie Anderson has got him there ever since he's traded him. I know, the past few weeks it's been like hit and miss. Floor is very low. Ceiling's kind of high. Up against Green Bay. Green Bay has a good pass defense. So that running offense of Mike Davis and Curtis Samuel, like I said earlier, they're gonna be putting in most of that work. But if Teddy Bridgewater, who I believe is playing, if he can connect, I believe I'm going. I would go Robbie Anderson. If I can pivot to somebody else, I would. I don't know who I would pivot to. Debo Samuel is out. AJ Green, not pivoting. But I would just lower my expectations for Robbie. I would lower my expectations in the fact that he may be snubbed of a touchdown. Brandon Ayuk, obviously, a lot of people are very, very high on Ayuk, as they should be. I just think this game is going to be very scripted as far as the offensive plays. Ayuk is he's a beast. He's a beast. If he doesn't score, I still think he has a safe floor. Especially with Debo out. Just that running game is going to be very, very crucial for that offense to get things going. If that run game doesn't get going, which it most likely will against Dallas, then Ayuk may be in trouble. But these past 2 weeks, even with Debo, I believe, was back this week on week 13, he was great. So the ceiling is about 12-10. The floor is about 12-10, and the ceiling is God only knows. Marvin Jones Jr. should be a good play, assuming Matthew Stafford is in. And the last that I heard is that he is in. So Marvin Jones Jr. should be all right with Galladay out. Hawkinson is obviously the number one there, but Jones Jr. should be all right. Alvin Kamara, good news because Drew Brees is coming back up against Kansas City's defense. Kansas City is a type of team where they don't depend on the defense. It's just all on how much can you keep their offense out, which it takes away. Their offense is so good that it takes away the opposing offense's scheme, where it's like, well, we got to catch up now. We can't run our offense. So, and Kamara is heavily targeted by Drew Brees in the screens and the passing and the runs, and it just opens up a lot. But like I said, I still think it's going to be that 1-2 combo right now with Taysom Hill, because Drew Brees, let's be real, he fucking broke some ribs. He broke ribs, and they're going to be very soft with him. And with the news that they're saying they're going to sit Michael Thomas out for the rest of the regular season, this is going to be a very, very low scripted game for Drew Brees. Kamara is, I can't believe I'm saying this, touchdown dependent this game. And I do believe he will get a touchdown. It's Alvin Kamara, top 2, top 3 running backs in the league. Beast as fuck. J.K. Dobbins against Jacksonville should be a fucking smash play. This motherfucker is taking over. In the last 4 weeks, he has taken over. We're not going to count the COVID week, but he's taking over as the back. I know they're still going to try to get Mark Ingram in, and assuming, they're going to get Lamar Jackson's run. Lamar Jackson is the number 1 running back in that scene. In Jacksonville, not scary at all. Should J.K. Dobbins score, is going to be a smash. He's going to get like 25, 24 points, I believe. Dallas Goedert should be an all right play. I know that Jalen Hurts last week was getting the ball everywhere, but he should be an all right play. I would have pivoted to Noah Fant. Obviously, he hasn't, but I would have pivoted to him. So, yeah, he's going to have to ride out with Goddard. Claypool has been very limited in the past few weeks. Very, very limited. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because the run defense hasn't been showing up as it should. I know that, they played against good defenses in the past weeks. They're not clicking like as they are. The passes are going to Deontay and Juju. And Ebron. Ebron has been getting good looks. Claypool is very touchdown dependent this game. He should get in the touchdown, assuming that Cincy is not scary. I think Claypool should get in. Young Wei Koo, obviously a smash play all the time. So the only pivot, the X factor that I would look forward to is that Tannehill and Watson, and that Jeff Wilson Jr. and Claypool, because you're swinging for the fences right here, which is the playoffs, and this is what it is. 50-50 chance going both ways. It looks like smash. Team Has No Name is the team leading in the number 1 power rankings for me to win it all as of right now. Kyler Murray's obviously you're going to smash play. Justin Jefferson, same thing as just as Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods are. That's how Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson are. So it's good. Going to be a great play. This motherfucker, Justin Jefferson, has not let down. I know last week, whatever, you can throw that out the table, but he has been great every week, basically every week. I mean, since week 8. I mean, the floor is a floor. The ceiling is 25. I mean, this dude is going to be a badass NFL professional player. Stephon Diggs, obviously playing right now. Number 1 target, should be playing. T.Y. Hilton, a.k.a. T.Y. Houston, always known to ball out up against Houston and has been balling out since week 12. We got 16, 21, 23. You're going to play him. Here's the thing about teams and players. If you have somebody who's hot, you're going to ride that train, baby, until it burns out. That Travis Fulgham, for those of you guys who remember Travis Fulgham, you're going to ride it, and you rode it until he was hot, and then until he was not, you dropped him. So Derrick Henry, I'm not even going to talk about him. Cam Akers, not even going to talk about him. Both smash plays. Edo Smith Jr. should be a skeptical one. I know that was his Achilles heel, is the tight end position, but assuming that Goddard doesn't have a good game, Edo Smith Jr. should be all right. Very, very touchdown dependent, but if he can get those targets, downfield, those long first down passes, the clutch third down pass, a touchdown that can, a play action touchdown. I think it's a good pivot. Right here, Nelson Aguilar, he said that his phone died. He couldn't pivot to Nelson Aguilar. I believe he would have pivoted to either McKissick or to Drake. I believe it was Drake, though. He's a Drake fan, Kenyon Drake fan. I don't buy it, though. I don't buy that his phone was dead. I think he wanted to start Aguilar. I dropped him, assuming someone would pick him up. I don't buy that. No pivots here. This is going to be a good matchup because it's Deshaun Watson's quarterback versus Indianapolis's defense going up against each other. Much anticipated game in the semis. Winner here goes on to the championship. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you who wins or who I think is going to win. Right now, you got a Team Has No Name leading by 10. And you still have Comeback Chris's, all his players who need to play. So should be a good one. No pivots on the table, like I said, except for maybe that Jeff Wilson Jr. and that Ryan Tannehill. Other than that, it doesn't look like there's any pivot. So who do y'all think is going to win that game? All right, on to the last matchup, which is myself, Novid, versus the commish, Master E, a.k.a. 3rd and 10. On my side, Lamar Jackson. I'm starting Lamar Jackson. I said, fuck it. I went with him. Josh Allen's got 6 points right now and a touchdown. So, it is what it is. And I was thinking about pivoting to Devin Singletary because I had Antonio Gibson out. Singletary has been Singletary all season long. So I didn't do that. So I'm starting Lamar Jackson. Keenan Allen only got me 2 points. He was questionable all week. So I wasn't going to play him until they said that he was in. And literally, when he was on the field, there was a video where he was in the cameras and he says, "Don't sit me." He said, "Don't sit me." Keenan Allen, man, he's one of the best receivers in the league. To me, he's top 5 when he's healthy, obviously. So I didn't sit him. I started him, and it looked like it was going to be a regular Keenan Allen day until the second quarter. He just didn't play no more, and I started crying. So yeah, Keenan Allen, that one really hurt. Terry McLaurin should be a nice play, but with Dwayne Haskins out there playing, I know with Dwayne Haskins, he still got these points like 22, 10, 16, 10, 18. So I'm not worried about Terry McLaurin, especially since Seattle's pass-happy defense, even though Seattle's defense has been showing out as of late, Terry McLaurin, I think this is one of those games where he carries a team and carries a load. Antonio Gibson's not in. Logan Thomas has been showing out. So those it's going to be touchdown dependent, but I think his floor is very safe. Allen Robinson should have a smash game against Minnesota. Not scary defense. In the past 3 weeks, as Nick Foles has been out, Mitchell Trubisky has been looking for Robinson, which should have been doing his whole career there. Robinson is a great receiver, just like, very dependable, solid hands, great route running. Should be a great play. Should have the safest of floors out of a lot of receivers. Dalvin Cook, I'm a little worried at the ceiling, but I'm not worried at the floor. So I don't expect 25, 23 points. I expect 15, 16 points from Dalvin Cook, assuming, he has a Dalvin Cook game. If he gets in the end zone once or twice, I will be grateful. But I'm not expecting that. For the other running back position, I could pivot. I was going to pivot to Singletary, like I said, but I couldn't trust it. So I picked up Adrian Peterson, Sony Michel, because what's his name? Damian Harris was out in New England. And I picked up Tony Pollard because it looks like to me he's going to be he's going to be that back for the remainder of the season. He looks good. He looks very good. He already has a year under his belt. I think, he's fast. He's quick. He could take the hit. He could catch. He's been in that catching position. And the last few weeks hasn't been a great games. But last week against Cincy, he got 11 points. In week 11, he had 12. And then his floor obviously is 3, 5, 2, 6. But like I said, this is playoffs, and I think I'm gonna do it. There's one thing I might want to pivot to from the Kelsey, obviously playing Kelsey, from the flex position. If by 12:30, 1 o'clock, I'm down in the numbers by, let's say 14, and it's manageable for me to come back, or let's say 10, or something, I'm gonna pivot. I am going to pivot, but I'm not going to tell you who, because Kamish, I believe, is going to be watching this video, and I'm going to pivot. I'm just letting y'all know right now. I'm not going to tell you who. If by 1 p.m. I'm down, if I'm down reasonably, and where I could come back, because I assume I'm going to be down. It's going to be a tough uphill battle for me, but I assume I'm going to be down already. So I'm going to pivot to a player, and it will make or break my playoff game. So yeah, on the other side, 3rd and 10, great matchups, beautiful matchups. Tom Brady versus Atlanta. Obviously, Tom Brady hasn't been the Tom Brady of old. It's very hit and miss, 15, 23, 14, 31, 5, 19, 36, 14. If the pattern goes as it goes, it's going to be a 30-point, 25-point game. So Tom Brady shouldn't have a problem. Atlanta's defense isn't scary at all. Devontae Adams going to have a fucking 40, 50-point game, and I'm going to lose because of it. because Carolina is not that scary at all. Deontay Johnson, he's been struggling, but I know he's been struggling. He's been dropping balls, 8 points, 17 points. But because it's against me and because it's a Monday night against Cincy, and it's against me and my fantasy squad, he's going to get 40 points. Nah, he's gonna get a good amount of points, like 20. Same thing as Juju, because that running game is obsolete there right now. So Tyler Lockett might be his X factor. Assuming Lockett doesn't get in the end zone, he can have a dud game, 3, 9, 6. So his 8, 9, 10 is his floor. Still solid, still more than what Keenan Allen put up for me. Jonathan Taylor, obviously they're switching to Jonathan Taylor as their feature back. So should be a smash play. Houston's defense is not scary at all. My screen is frozen. But like I said, Jonathan Taylor, he will get in the end zone. He will get in the end zone and he will have a great game. So I'm worried about that. Mike Davis probably will get in the end zone, will have a great game because McCaffrey's out. He always has great games when he's out. He don't know who he's going to play in tight end. I have a feeling he's going to go Ertz because Cole Kmet, I mean, if he wants to go Cole Kmet, that would be an all right play. Very, very, very touchdown dependent. Very touchdown dependent. Assuming that Mitchell Trubisky is not going to go to Robinson, Mooney, Patterson, Montgomery. He will go to Cole Kmet if he doesn't go through all those progressions. So I think he's going to go Ertz, even though Ertz floor is very, very low, very low. But this is the tight end position. But like I said, Zach Ertz and Jalen Hurts, maybe that's a connection he needs. I know he was there last week and a couple of good catches with Julio Jones out. I think he might go Ertz. Excuse me. Raheem Mostert, I know he wants to start Raheem Mostert. I know he believes in Raheem Mostert. The numbers don't agree with Raheem Mostert. If there's any time to start Raheem Mostert, it will be this game to make or break his season, to give him that cushion that he needs to breathe a little. Other than that, I probably would have pivoted to Corey Davis, maybe, even though Davis, he put up a dud last week. He's been solid, but it's hit and miss week to week to week to week. So if there's ever a game to start Raheem Mostert, it's this game, and it'll be make or break for that. So I honestly think I'm going to lose this game. If my players show out, they play above than what they're supposed to, I could still be in it with a little bit of luck on my side. And like I said, there's a pivot. If it comes down to it, I'm going to pivot. And I will, I will keep you guys updated. But yeah, man. So week 15, these are the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see y'all later. Good luck to everybody in the playoffs. I hope you guys win. I hope you guys have fun doing it, talking your shit. This is the matchup I'm going to be looking forward to as well as my own. So, all right. Peace.